Conscious Collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Emily, and we are the Conscious Collaboration Podcast. What up, Lisa?
Hey, Emily. Hello, everybody.
Sup, guys? So, maybe a little less formal on the topic today, but I mean, I feel like I hope that everybody will be able to find a little piece of something in this, just because, you know, in our pre-chat, it's kind of hard to get away from just the magnitude of everything that's kind of going on in the world right now, from literally a global level down to a national level, down to a local level, down to a personal level, and how everybody knowingly on these larger scales and seemingly on a personal scale is having just repeatedly what we've referred to as tower moments, right? Like time after time after time, and it's just kind of like 'tis the season, right? Like it's not just your run of the mill tower moments. Like it is just coming hard and fast. And so, we figured it would be um wise,
Beneficial,
yeah,
therapeutic.
all those things to focus our discussion on that, and just kind of our thoughts around that and our experiences. I could share a personal experience to kind of kick things off. It's been top of mind for me personally, my own little personal tower moment this weekend. And so if y'all listened to last week's episode, and we were kind of making fun of me because my brain was halfway out the window because I was in preparation for another bodybuilding show to have happened this past weekend. Well, uh, all was going well. We went to do team check-ins on Friday before.
You were doing amazing.
Yeah, I was fine, totally fine. And met up with the team. My team is awesome. Shout out Team Nonstop. They crushed that show, by the way. And
That's so good.
yeah, they did so good. I'm so proud of them. And did my, I compete in a drug-free, performance enhancing drug-free organization. So I did my polygraph test. That's how they pre-screen you.
And you aced it? You did the
Aced it.
best.
Yeah, in fact, yes, the lady said, the lady said, it was so hilarious because it's like, I didn't know this was something you could be like good at, but she said it was the most beautiful polygraph she had seen that day. I was like, oh, thank you.
Can you add that? Yeah, add that to your
to everybody. I know, right? Best polygraph ever. Beautiful polygraph. I was like, I really meant it. Like I really don't use steroids.
Filled with conviction about that.
Yeah, she was cool. We also had she's from Maine, and so we had a little funny exchange about lobsters and swamp lobsters from Louisiana.
Oh,
so we're two of a kind. You like lobster?
That's
I like
interesting. Yeah.
So we had to laugh about that. But anyway, did my polygraph, did my overnight tanning, with the team, all that good stuff. Went to bed Friday, feeling perfectly fine.
I was fine. Sending you reels until 10 o'clock.
Perfectly fine. 2 a.m. rolls around, and I was awoken.
That's not the witching hour.
It was the exorcism hour is what it was. The exorcism 36 hours. So I woke up with evidently some kind of food poisoning or similar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And without going into too much gory detail on the pod, I lost 10 pounds in 24 hours. I know this very specifically because we weigh in multiple times a day in those days leading up to the show. So I had just weighed myself on Friday night. And like I said, less than 24 hours into this whole ordeal, I finally got myself on a scale and I literally lost 10 pounds. So not the
Oh
good
my
kind of weight.
gosh.
You don't lose 10 pounds of body fat like that.
Follow Emily
That
for
was
more
my,
tips.
yeah, follow me for more fitness tips. That food poisoning diet. Um, but it just sucked the life out of me. And I missed the whole show. I missed the show. I missed the whole weekend. I was incapacitated in bed. And I mean, that's just really unfortunate. Like you work your ass off to prepare for these shows, and it was, regardless of the outcome, gonna be my last show for a while, at least until the end of summer or so, because I it is time for me to rebuild my metabolism. So that was going to be the plan regardless. But so yeah, it didn't happen.
Bummer.
And I mean, so it was just highlighting for me, like, that saying, "We make plans and God laughs," kept
Mhm.
kept
Yeah.
coming up, and I'm just like, tis the season for that. Like, shit, that is happening literally on every level, with the hurricanes and the elections and all the there's global, massive uh uh
Yeah.
upheaval going on of all kinds, and yeah, like it's easy to just get lost in the sauce and overwhelmed, and we've been talking about this for weeks, right? Like
And it's
different
Mercury in
different
retrograde too.
yeah. Which can really, I don't want people to think that that's all bad. That actually, especially now at a time like this, can be very valuable. If you utilize that energy right, that is ripe energy for introspection, which,
Mhm.
look, when the external is in pure chaos, like, that is your cheat code, is to go inward, because you ain't controlling what's going on out there. And I just, I like, I had already been seeing in the after effects of the election all week, just, good friends who were just drowning in the emotion of it all. And and I poorly communicated this to a few of my closest people, and I was trying to say, like, look, we can't let this, like, take us over, and become our identity. Like, and there was a lot of sensitivity, and people, I think, were taking it as I was saying, get over it, don't feel your emotions type of thing, which is not at all what I was trying to communicate. But rather that, yes, feel and process those emotions. That's supremely important. But there's a big difference between keeping your head above water and drowning below letting the
Yeah.
emotions get
Getting
above your
lost in
head,
the soup.
and letting them drive how your mood is for the entire day, and how, what actions you take. And it's just really, it moves people in the wrong direction. It's power draining, rather than really what I've been trying to focus in on personally, and, like, really trying to communicate to my clients about everything, not just about literally everything. Like, okay, here's the situation. Where can we find the power? Where can we find the power in this? Control the controllables. Where are those? Well, we're going to start inward, right? And then, me and you were talking about the tarot implications a little bit, and
Yeah.
the wands sort of theme, right?
Right.
The suit
Yeah,
of
there's a big
wands.
bond story in this. I
Mhm.
mean, personally, And I did see a little bit of the rumblings that, and I, in some of our shared friends and conversations, I did feel a little bit of that. But I've been feeling and sensing so much forward direction and
Mhm.
listening to, I'm not someone that does tarot readings. The I Ching is similar, related, usually has similar concepts.
Mhm.
But there's been a big, I listen to your tarot sometimes. I listen to my daughter's. I listen to my own. And there's, in everybody's collective tarots has been the story of wands.
Mhm.
So on all levels. And I've been feeling that in my own life is just a propelling forward. So I did feel like a slight pullback. I was dealing with some things here locally and in Tampa Bay with clients and myself with some hurricane issues and that type of thing. But then it was just like propel. And when you're in a place of propelling forward and being visible, um, that's not the time um, like you're saying, to disempower yourself or to anything.
I don't
Um,
think you can get to that place of propelling forward if you,
right.
it's you do have to, like, yeah, we have the element of destiny, but we have our free will, and we have to make, like, these monumental events, whether they are global, national,
Mhm.
local, or personal, are all opportunities to make choices.
Yeah, like having conversations. I think we talked about this in the podcast before. And I'm a Gen Xer, and talking to my mom in particular, shout out Darlene if you're listening. um, when all my conversations with her always end in, it's just crazy, referring to the world. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Hmm.
And I'm like, Mom, it's not crazy. Like, nothing is crazy. We know there's seasons to everything. And sometimes it just all happens all at one time. And it's intense. And the way that you and I and a lot of our collective refer to those instances are tower moments. And some of the best things have come immediately following tower
Right.
moments. And I
Right.
think it's like that's this time. And if your head's down or you're under the water or in the soup, like you're saying, with emotions or getting caught up in the collective, that's why it's so important to surround yourself and your collaborative projects with people that are not getting lost in the soup of everybody else's. Um, you know, and I know we're both air signs, so sometimes we can come across aloof or not caring. Um, we care. We have emotions and feelings,
Yeah.
but I think it's and I don't think we're any more right than anybody else. But in our experiences, we we're not spring chickens here. We've been through many life cycles of tower moments and then just amazing things coming on the other side.
And
So
and the rub is you have to, like, put yourself in that place to be able to receive that propulsion, right? Like,
right,
or to be able to jump into it, I should say, because it's not receiving. It's the opposite. It's
yeah,
pushing forward. But yeah, like, if you're just drowning, you can't possibly. And if you're repeating the stories to yourself of how bad this is, and how, then that's what's gonna
right. It's programming
manifest
you, right?
for you. You're what the story that your mind is telling you is what is going to happen. We've seen this in medicine and health with placebo and nocebo, and all sorts of other ways we can see this play out. Like, what's the saying? Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's exactly what it is. If you think this is the worst thing that ever happened, but whatever this thing is, then it is.
yeah.
But if you can say, okay, you can acknowledge, I don't like this right now.
Not
I
liking
don't
it.
like this. This doesn't feel good. This feels very fill in the blank, whatever it
Right.
feels like to you. And that's fine. And that is valid. And
Take a
uh
day.
and you should acknowledge that. but then accepting that, look, when I'm vomiting my life up, it's
Yeah.
not a pleasant place to be.
Well, thanks for including me in it, though. I'm glad that you reached out, and so I knew you were okay.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't even know. I blacked out, but I
Well, I was worried.
I mean, I chose to even I was devastated, okay? I
Was like
worked
a little piece of
so
you, like, I think I can make
freaking
it.
hard.
I think I can.
No,
I think I
no
can
part of
work
me. No
out.
part of me.
Can you
And I,
imagine what a scene that would have been?
I am choosing. I'm like, you know what? I was at home, not in a facility with
Competition. Right,
hundreds of bodybuilders in a tiny bikini.
right.
If I had been on the scene when that happened, I would have to go into the witness protection program. You would never see me again. Okay.
Right,
That
right.
would be the
Well, you would have been
definition.
taken out in an ambulance, I think, at that point.
No, I would have died. I would have literally passed away of embarrassment. As my mom taught me, and this makes sense. She said, "Well, that's the root of the word mortification, you know." She said, "You die of
Oh,
embarrassment." I was like, "Yeah, that would have been it."
right on, Mom.
So,
Yeah,
it was and I'd still like, I still get that, like, if I think about it, and and I look at the pictures and stuff, and I, of course, I'm so proud, but it's like, you get that little pang, like, oh
yeah,
man,
I know. I
but
was seeing the memories of like last year in the
yes,
competition of us winning some
yes,
sides, and yeah,
yes,
that was so
and
much
it was so, and I had all these visions of, like, and the new bikini and how it was,
fun.
and but I chose to be like, okay, I don't like this. I don't like this one bit, but what what is this trying to what is this telling me? What is this trying to
But
tell me?
you still
Clearly,
showed up. You
this
still
was
showed up
not
this
my
week to
day.
work. Yeah.
Clearly this was not my day. Um what is it? What is it that I need to get from this? And let me just go ahead and start making jokes so that
Yeah.
I can just move forward, and because it ain't going to be this. So, all right, what are
That's
we
how
going to
you
do?
deal with it.
What are
Mhm.
we going to do? And I had myself a little still kind of a little post show celebratory meal type of thing. um DiGiorno, by the way, has not no affiliation, but it was weird. I had a very specific craving for a big green salad and a DiGiorno pizza specifically. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And DiGiorno has these little personal size croissant crust pizzas. So
Mm.
I indulged that craving, and just a little side nutrition coach life hack for you here. So that you can include just for fun foods like this from time to time that just bring joy into your life, but maybe bolster the nutritional value of your meal, and prevent your blood sugar from going absolutely insane. What I also did was pre-meal had a bag of air dried steak with 32 grams of protein in it to go ahead and keep my appetite in check and curb that blood sugar spike, right? And then I had that nice big bowl of greens with some olive oil, tomatoes, and got some really good micronutrients and fiber in as well, so that the pizza didn't have an effect that made me feel like further crapola, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
actually felt
Well,
nice and energized the next day.
yeah. You looked perky when we saw you for the workout, and
Thanks.
this is just, in talk of propelling forward, if you were to have gotten lost in the soup of being depressed
Yeah.
about things, you would have not seen the opportunities and all the cool stuff that's happening this week. Like, don't you have a concert this week? And
I gotta check on that. Yeah. But there's a concert, and we have a thing.
yeah, we
Can we talk
are
about the thing?
here.
Can we
Yeah,
plug the thing?
yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's plug the thing.
Yeah, so this Wednesday going into Thursday, we are appearing on a radio show here local. And it's my first radio show. I'm so excited.
I think it's mine too. I would know, right? I think it's mine too.
Yeah, I think you would know unless you
Yeah,
blacked out or it was so bad that you erased it.
it's possible.
It's possible. I do that kind of stuff too. But I mean, what a really cool, amazing opportunity of, one of the best of Tampa Bay radio shows invited us on.
Yeah.
And people listen. My friends are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You guys are going to be on. And I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I know it's going to be amazing based on, our previous conversation. So,
So if you're catching our episode in time before early morning, November 14th, we'll be on at midnight, right?
hmm yeah. So, and you can
What's
listen
the radio
to,
station?
oh gosh, WMNF, I believe, are the
Got it.
call letters.
Monday Night
I
Football.
don't, yeah, my phone's too far away from me to pull up the WhatsApp where she gave me all the details. And
Big gay radio show.
yeah, so you can search for it.
Give it a
I
Google.
believe, yeah, I believe they're listed in other directories as well too. So you can find us on the other directories. The Facebook page they have is really cool and has some great playlists. And I think it's great, Emily, because it's all started around us talking about playlists, like therapy playlists, therapy DJs.
Yeah.
And then people are doing that. It's not I mean, it was like kind of our idea. And then they didn't get it from us. I just think it's like an awakening that people are feeling called to do therapy DJ type of things. And nothing is more healing than or cathartic than music. And I love that the Big radio show has like the most compelling playlists that come out. And I think for the right time. And there's no accident in they're very like, I don't know, like the right thing that you need to hear to be uplifting and you know, dance. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna dance.
And
Maybe I will.
like Steve always says this too, laughter, it just breaks up the heavy energy and we start to become closed up, right? And forward
Yeah.
and to get into this forward propulsion energy, you have to be open. You have to be
A
open,
lot of
even
our guests
in the
have talked
discomfort.
about
You
that.
have to be vulnerable and open and accepting of whatever the next thing
Yeah.
is to propel forward into, rather than
Yeah.
no more of this, and you're just further closing yourself off and narrowing down the possibilities for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really excited about the timeliness of our appearance. I think it's the perfect timing. I'm excited to see Joanna again. She's a great
Yeah,
friend
shout
that
out
we had
Joanna.
on, and she's like, I mean, I don't know, she completes our air sign trifecta, I think was what
Yeah, air sign
um
and generational trifecta.
yeah, generation gyrational.
Generational and gyrational. We're a gyrational bunch. We
Yeah,
kept
so I
talking
think it's
about
gonna be
dancing.
I think it's gonna be fun, but a lot of our guests have, and we don't well, I think everybody knows we don't pre-script these out necessarily. It's really
Can't make this shit up.
true, authentic conversations that we're having with our guests, and it just happens that the right guests are attracted in at the right time, and we all just continue the conversation. But a lot of our guests in their individual sessions with us have talked about movement, dance, how to process things and resilience. And I don't think we're going to get heady, and get too intellectual on the Big Day radio show, but I think it's going to be fun and cathartic all the same.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but I really liked her vibe, so I'm excited. And I think like if you or I would have lost in the soup of all the negativity or any, you know, what's the opposite of a glimmer? Because you talk about the glimmer being the optimism, but what's the opposite? I think of soup or like
Like
lack of,
the thing that puts the candle out.
yeah, snuffer,
Isn't that like
snuffleupagus,
a isn't that like a
snuffer,
Yeah, okay.
not sniffers, like snuffs it out, the flame.
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, maybe that's where that came from. Well, anyway, um, yeah, if we had let our flames go out, we might not have been lined up for these amazing, uplifting things that are
Oh, I'm
happening.
certain we wouldn't.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, we still have the moments, everybody does. And I don't think this time in our life is going to be any, yeah, I think we do take notice to a lot more of the, well, especially when we're in the thick of things, being traumatizing. I was just reflecting back, it's been a month since, and I only know that, I know directly it's been a month just based on my cycle
Since
since,
Milton. Yeah.
yeah, since Milton. And I remember like the day after Milton, and I was talking to my boyfriend about this. It's like the day after Milton, when I was driving around to check on my house and make sure it was okay, I was looking at the destruction thinking, there's no way that any of this is ever going to be
Yeah.
repaired because
Yeah.
it felt post-apocalyptic. There were
Yeah.
holes in roads. I was going like,
Yeah.
I just walked. I should have walked 5 miles to get home. Um, it looked like nothing in sight. And now
Yeah.
here today, I took a walk in the neighborhood, and my neighborhood was hit pretty hard by both storms, and things look better than they did before. I mean, I know people are still really deep into repairing and the remodeling, and I'm seeing that in my Cloud9 projects, but when people are going into it, they're like, we're doing it so intentional and we're going to do it better than it was before. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm seeing more of that, and I'm seeing more beautification. Even if there's trash still outside, that someone will
Mm-hmm.
make like a pretty sign and it'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
Gulfport
I
strong
mean,
or,
it breeds innovation and
yeah,
it's not like the most fun way to do things, but like, okay, this happened. How do we make it better?
yeah. And it is,
Where's the power in this? We make it better.
yeah, people are really making it happen. And it's that like wand energy that you were telling me about that, it's pretty inspiring. And I think that people are going to have, it's that like after a tower moment, there's so many unknowns. Um, my daughter was saying to me about unknowns. She's like, it's like bungee jumping and how scary it is before you bungee jump, and then you do jump, and you're like, this is amazing. Um, but it's so scary, on every level before you do it.
Well, I'm looking at this New Orleans deck that I had pulled
Yeah,
before
let's
we
hear that.
started. And I mean, I think it's the perfect example
Of
of
course it
exactly
is.
what you're talking about. Because, I mean, if you were to see New Orleans post Katrina,
Right.
even
Yeah.
6, 8 months post Katrina, you'd be like,
Yeah.
how in the hell does
How is it
anyone
even
come back
possible?
from
Yeah.
this? And of
Right.
course, it is permanently changed, right? Like,
Mhm.
um and some for good or the bad or somewhere in between, but permanently changed. But I mean, you could definitely say that I mean, it is back and it is thriving.
Mhm.
And for them to come back, it's
Yeah.
like if they can do it. And look at
Right.
this, the illustration on the deck is very sort of fire, ace of wands, looking like that lotus
Transformation.
looks like it's on fire.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
from
A phoenix
the
butterfly.
inside. So yeah, and Phoenix is very fire, very wands themes. So let's see, yeah, let's close it out and see
Yeah. Let's close it out that way.
what the old New Orleans deck has to say about it. I haven't shuffled in a while. And so, like, how do I do this?
There's no right way.
I don't
I've
know.
actually had I've had people ask me that, when I'm teaching, can you teach me how to
It's like,
shuffle? And I
no,
was like,
sure
yeah.
can't.
Like, absolutely.
I
I
just
don't do
kind of
it the
fumbled with it till I figured it out. Yeah.
right.
You do see some tarot readers on YouTube that just are so slick with it, and you're like, oh,
Well,
they're
that's like,
speedy, like
yeah, the casino card player. I'm so
yeah.
impressed by that. Like, I don't have that method.
All right, which one do you want me to take here? Which
To wrap it up.
of these cards will sum up for the collective the energy to move forward in? This one's kind of poking out at me. Oh, you know what? I like this, and um I was gonna mention this too. I was gonna call it like an honorable mention. At least,
Mhm.
well, and I haven't read, the meaning behind this card. I don't think I've ever pulled this card, but I was gonna give as an honorable mention
Mhm.
to lean into your relationships,
Mm.
your loved ones, whatever that means to you, friends, family, pets, lovers, whatever, whatever that is. um there is great healing power in just, I'm gonna now use the word that's on the card, companionship. And this
Yeah.
this
Yep.
looks like the 3 of Cups. This is not a tarot deck,
Yes, it
but
does
this is
look
like a
like
3 of Cups. It's got 3 fairies, and they're cheersing, toasting, joyfully, celebrating, um celebrating. And I think, a lot of people feel, guilt, or whatever, kind of heaviness around, well, I can't feel happy or celebratory right now, um look at what this means for my friend, and this and that and the other. But it's it's just like the self-care thing, like,
right.
the best thing you could do is, find something to celebrate, and give other people permission to do so as well, because that energy is so very healing. um Talk about
I like
oxytocin,
that.
release, if you want to get a little
Yeah.
scientific with it. Like, there is some science to it. And when you look at the quote unquote blue zones and all these things, when you focus in, there's problems with the way they look at those blue zones. But really,
Mhm.
the common factor is not diet or exercise related, or anything like that. The most common factor, in fact, they've done some research on this now, but the most important factor in longevity, right, and
Mhm.
quality of life is the quality of your relationships. So I will
Yeah.
read the
Yeah.
um
I like that
the-
image of the card too, just like the pouring from each other's goblets in the
yeah,
different
yeah,
directions. So it's
yeah,
like,
making
maybe
sure that
you're
everybody's cup is full. And
yeah,
okay,
has
here, I've got a
yeah.
little extra, you can have some. Oh, now you've got a little
Yeah.
extra, I can have some. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no lack mentality, even when, your whole world is crumbled around you.
It's like coming back around in a circle.
Mhm, mhm. Many times when we think of companionship, we immediately think of romantic connections. However, quite often the most fulfilling and enjoyable relationships that we experience are through platonic connections. At this time, you will find a healing energy through companionship with others. Yeah. Allow yourself to create and experience new ways to connect with people, perhaps joining a group of like-minded people to enjoy activities such as yoga. Hey, I didn't even write that. Painting, dancing, or traveling would be a good place to start out. Healing through the sharing of non-romantic love, it can be romantic too, can come in many forms. It's time to be open to all the ways that loving companionship can come into your life. And pets do count. Pets will also garner
Mhm.
you that oxytocin release, that puts you into the parasympathetic nervous system, which we are all in some desperate need of that go gadget parasympathetic nervous system activation right now. That's your rest and digest, aka opposite of fight or flight state of
Yeah.
being. And those are the hormones we want rolling right now. So
I love that. That's so
yeah,
good. That's perfect to tie everything together. Um,
collaborating, right?
collaborating. Yeah.
Collaborating with your companions.
I will say in the past month, even though there was like a bit of a pullback in the tower moment, I've had the best collaborative discussions where people are just like, you know, they're taking this as the opportunity to make the things that they've held so like in their heart that's like a dream, and like making it happen. And it can be like things that people have always told them, no, this can't be done. They're like, nope, we're doing it now. And it's so
Yeah,
exciting. And I love like,
that's the spark. That's the ones.
yeah, I love hearing people get into that energy and contributing to whatever their vision is. It's really
It's
cool.
kind of like YOLO too, like you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So don't,
They're like, do it now. And
yeah,
it's
go
like,
for it, bro.
I think it's like everything, even on a small granular level that collaborations are creating right now are going to have a trickle up effect. Like it's going to affect things that are bigger than these, small communities and circles of friends. It's, those are going to make some cool movements, I think, in the next 20 years, that like age of Aquarius that we're in. So yay, I'm excited. So the next time you guys will hear from us, if you tune in, we're going to be joining Joanna Grosso, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had her on the podcast a couple episodes ago. You can reflect back and listen to how fun that was. I don't know what we're going to talk about, and I'm so excited to like meet everybody else because she described them. They're like her collaborators. And I love the diversity
Hey,
and
this
the
is
unique.
us.
I think it is us. Joanna, there
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. And it's WMNF
Look, one of them
88.5.
even has curly hair.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
literally us.
I'm
Dope.
excited. So, yeah, 12 a.m. Eastern Time to 3 a.m. Eastern Time, and also airing and available at Spotify, Apple, and Stitcher. And that's the Big Gay Radio Show. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll report back if you didn't catch us. That's been fun, Emily. I can't wait. I will come pick you up so we can go into the downtown area in the middle of the night.
Awesome.
And, yeah, and shake some things up.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. I think that had an important message, and if you want to continue this conversation with us, you can join us inside of our closed and private Facebook group, the Conscious Collaboration Collective. We'll look for your inquiry there and approve and let you in, and you can join us there. And we'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye-bye.
Be cool, guys. Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.